Real stories. Real heartbreak. This is Letters from the Broken Dot.
We were together for 3 years. 3 whole years of birthdays, holidays, lazy Sundays, inside jokes and dreams about our future. He wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my best friend, my person. We met at work. He was quiet, observant, but always kind. He'd leave me sticky notes with doodles. He did bring me coffee when I was drowning in deadlines. Eventually, coffee turned into dinners. Dinners into weekend getaways. And before I knew it, I was in love. He wasn't too flashy, but he was thoughtful in ways that mattered. He remembered my dog-esque birthday. He knew I hated cilantro. He held my hand in every public place, like he was proud to be with me. He looked at me like I was the only person in the room. When he proposed, it felt like the next logical step. We were in Paris, a place I'd always dreamed of visiting. He took me to the Eiffel Tower at night. Lights twinkled and music played. Somewhere nearby, he knelt down, pulled out a small velvet box, and asked me to spend forever with him. I said yes through tears. He stopped crying, happy, overwhelmed, grateful tears. We FaceTimed our families. We toasted with champagne. I stared at the ring so much that night, I forgot to sleep. It wasn't tea about the stone or the setting. It was about the promise. Or so I thought. The first week after we got back, we were high on excitement. We toured wedding venues, looked at color palettes, laughed over cake flavors. I showed my friends every little Pinterest board. My mom cried when I told her we picked a date. And then something changed. It started with unanswered texts, missed calls, delayed replies. I told myself he was busy, that work must be picked up, that maybe he was overwhelmed. Wedding planning can be a lot, right? But deep down, a familiar ache began to grow. The kind of ache that whispers before it screams. I tried calling one evening, straight to voicemail. Again and again. Days passed. No word. No explanation. Just digital silence. I started worrying, really worrying. Was he okay? Had something happened? I called his best friend. No answer. I tried his sister. Nothing. Finally, I reached out to his mom. She answered on the second ring. Her voice was cold, almost distant. Is he okay? I asked, my voice shaking. She sighed. He is fine. Relief washed over me until she continued. He just doesn't want to talk to you? My world tilted. What do you mean? I asked, as if I hadn't heard her right. I don't know the details, she said, more annoyed than sad. But he has made his decision. That was it. No explanation. No accident. No drama. Just a decision. I sat in our shared apartment, staring at the ring still on my finger. My inbox was filled with bridal newsletters, vendor emails, RSVP templates. It was like the world thought I was still engaged, while he had already moved on. I cried a lot. Then I went numb. Then I got angry. I texted him, poured my heart out. No reply. I tried calling again, he blocked me. I even showed up at his place once. His roommate told me he wasn't there. I knew he was lying. The worst part wasn't the breakup. It was the silence, the lack of closure, the absence of answers. The idea that someone could love you so deeply one moment and then vanish the next. I felt like a ghost in my own life. Our photos still lined the shelves. His toothbrush still sat in the bathroom. Every drawer had traces of him. Eventually, I packed it all into a box and shoved it into the back of my closet. I kept the ring though. Not because I wanted to, but because I didn't know what to do with it. I couldn't pawn it, I couldn't wear it. But throwing it away felt too easy. It felt like erasing 3 years of my life. Healing wasn't pretty. It wasn't linear. There were days I couldn't get out of bed. Nights I cried myself to sleep. I stopped trusting people. I flinched when my phone buzzed. Second-guessed every smile from a stranger. I questioned my worth. Wondered what I did wrong. Was I too much, not enough? Did I push him away? Did I miss the signs? But the truth is, some people don't leave because you did something wrong. They leave because they were never capable of staying. It took months, but I began to rebuild. I started journaling. I talked to a therapist. I leaned on my friends. Slowly, painfully, I started to put the pieces of myself back together. And somewhere in that slow rebuild, I found peace. Not because he came back. He didn't not because I got closure. I never did, but because I gave myself the love he never could. One day, I got a message request on Instagram. It was from him. "I'm sorry for how I left," he wrote. I didn't know how to handle my feelings. I panicked. You didn't deserve that? I stared at the message for a long time. I didn't reply because by then, I had already learned the most important lesson: closure. Isn't something someone gives you. It's something you give yourself.